World Team Cup final, based in a 18th century castle near Leszno in Poland, where the team members are protected from mischief by a 6-foot moat.
Wig, and then the Collins brothers, Peter, Phil and reserve Neil. There we are, Denmark, Erik Gundersen, captain, Bo Pedersen, Preben Eriksson, Hans Nielsen and Peter Rawn. And the United States, Bobby Schwartz, the skipper, Sean and Kelly Moran, Lance King and John Cook. And finally, the hosts, Poland, Zenon Plek, Roman Jankowski, Zenon Kasperjak, Leonard Rabe, and the reserve is Boli Prock.
And see how quickly Collins can get away from grid number 4. And my word, Peterson is impatient. In grid 2, they need to find their way. And it's Peterson who goes. The Dane gets away. Collins has been squeezed out around the first corner. Peterson in front, second place King. Collins coming bursting through on the inside. But that really was a picture start from Bo Pedersen, and now Peter Collins moves up under Lance King. And it's getting a bit tight for the minor positions, and King's been squeezed out as Rabe comes through. Quite a sensational start. Peterson up front in second place. It is Collins. In third place it is Rabe. And Lance King, a surprise for the Americans, is at the back. My word, these Danes mean business. Look at Peterson. Peterson stretching them. Collins still in second place. He's lost his helmet colour. Third place Rabe, and the Americans, who many felt were the favourites, through Lance King at the back. Heat 1 is going to be an impressive win for Bo Pedersen. He takes it. Peter Collins doing well for second place. Third place to Pole Rabe. Heat 2 coming up with Denmark already in the lead. They have 3 points. England, the fighting start on 2. Poland have a point, and the Americans surprisingly yet to score. Heat 2 on the inside in blue, Erik Gundersen for Denmark. Next to him in red, Zenon Plek, the experienced Polish campaigner. Grid 3 has England's Chris Morton on the outside in white for the Americans, Kelly Moran. Moran will need to retrieve the situations for the Americans here. They started as favourites. And again, it's the Danes, and Gundersen is lucky not to break the tape. He's certainly nudging them. He's away this time. He's got a flyer. After the first corner, it is Gundersen. Gundersen leads it. Flex in second place, and third place coming hard around the outside. It is Kelly Moran. Moran just cannot get the drop on Fleck, and at the back it's Morton. That's bad news for England as they all begin to tighten up for the minor positions. And Moran moved across and almost took Chris Morton's wheel off there. But it's Denmark, 2 flying starts in the first 2 races. Second place the Poles, who are doing a bit better than we thought. In third place, it is Kelly Moran for America. And at the back, it is Chris Morton, and that is ominous for the English. Well, there is Erik Gundersen. We have got Kenny Carter up here with us. Kenny, as we thought, the Danes are starting very quickly.
Yeah, they've been pushing the tape so far. Erik Gundersen was lucky that he didn't get excluded in that race, but I hope the English boys can start better than they have so far.
So we're in around the last 2 corners, 338 metres here, and Gundersen has won it via street. Second place, holding on, is Fleck. Third place is Kelly Moran, and Morton at the back, and that's bad news for England. Come back on third place on 2, and the Americans, the anti-post favourites, only 1 point. Looking across the lineup here for Heat 3, on the inside, the new boy from Poland, Zenon Kasperjak. He's on grid 1. Next to him, in grid 2, Bobby Schwartz, the American skipper. The Americans will be looking to him. Grid 3 has Hans Nielsen, and the Danes have been very swiftly away thus far. On the outside for England, their only world individual finalist, and indeed the rider who has provided such inspiration on more than one occasion this year, Simon Wigg, the yellow and black checkered helmet colour on the outside, and he'll need to be like lightning to get around the outside of Nielsen up to the first corner. Here we go for Heat 3. And they really are pushing these tapes, and Nielsen is not sitting still. And again, the tapes are touched, and the referee's really going to have to put a stop to this, and away they go this time. And it is Wigg from the outside. Simon Wigg for England into the first corner. In second place, Nielsen. Third is the pole, and Schwartz comes bursting through into third place. but it's Wigg for England at this point, and Nielsen going hard after him. The two Oxford teammates in the British League, but it's Wiggy showing them the way home here in Heat 3, and the handful of British fans in the crowd are enjoying this moment. Wigg up front, he was determined to do so well in this meeting. His first World Cup final. Second place, Nielsen Schwartz has moved into third place, but the Americans at the moment are not looking too happy. Oh, Kenny Carter, Simon Wigg is really lifting England at this moment, isn't he?
Fantastic start there from Simon, Dave. I just hope that this win from England can boost them up now and they can go out from then on and make a start. I think the Danes are cheating a little bit at the start. That was a really bad start. There was all bunching at the tape, and I think the referees really got to sort them out.
And Nielsen making one last effort on the last two corners to get around the outside of Wigg, but Wigg is going to hold him off. Simon Wigg wins in second place, Nielsen for Denmark. In third place, it was Bobby Schwartz for the Americans. Again, a surprise in last position on 2 points. There is the lineup for heat number 4 on the inside in the blue helmet of Denmark, Preben Eriksson. Next to him in red, the Polish flyer Roman Jankowski, who was the most impressive of the Poles from the start in practice. Grid 3 has Phil Collins for England. Philip in his first World Cup final on the outside. Sean Moran, Antipode's favourite for the individual championship in the white helmet colour of America. And off they go from the outside of this Moran. And Moran gets across the field and they're bunching up for second place. And it was left out Phil Collins, who moves up into third place. At the moment, it is in front Moran and Phil Collins trying the high, wide handsome route around the outside of Preben Eriksson, and Eriksson takes it out. Now Collins switching inside, and Phil Collins really is trying everything to get up into second place. Still in front, it is Moran in second place, still Eriksson for the Danes. Third place, Phil Collins, and Jankowski for Poland at the back. He thought he might do a little better. Beginning to tighten up at the back of the pack with Moran in complete control, showing why he is the favourite for the World Individual Championship. And here comes Phil Collins again, trying to find the necessary drive and horsepower. It does seem the track is slick and hard, though Collins has tried. He really is going to produce something special here on this last lap, 338 metres, the battle for second place. Collins will dive from Eriksson, and Eriksson is going to hold him out. Moran wins it, second place, Eriksson third, Collins for all his efforts. Appearing over the horizon. There's the lineup. Cook on the inside. Next to him we have Phil Collins for England. Grid number 3 has in the blue helmet colour Erik Gundersen, and on the outside Leonard Rabba in red for Poland. Well, the Danes have been on a bit dodgy ground with their starts. There is Phil Collins in yellow for England. Here's the start of Heat 5, and again it is Gundersen who's impatient to get away, and they're away this time. And up to the corner, it is Gundersen, and it is Collins and Gundersen, craving teammates locked together. Cook's been squeezed out. It is Gundersen in front, Collins in second. In third place, it is Rabba, and John Cook from the United States is at the back. There was a hair-raising first corner, but Gundersen goes clear. Collins is in second place. Third place, the Pole Rabba. And the Danes are in a rampant mood. Still Gundersen up front. All the action really at the back for the odd point as John Cook attempts to find a way around Leonard Rabba. It is an event where you can ill afford a last place, and the gamble by the Americans here in Heat 5 is certainly not paying off. The Danes will go further clear. England will consolidate second position, but the Americans have lost ground, and they've got a lot of work to do if they're going to get back into this World Cup final, even at this early stage. Gundersen, by 30 lengths, wins Heat 5. Collins is second, in third place is Rabba. Forceful American Sean Moran, he's in grid 2. Grid 3 has England's Simon Wigg, who was a very fast starter and is also an enterprising race winner first time out. On the outside, Bo Peterson, who got the Danes off to a rip-roaring start, winning heat number 1 right from start to finish. So heat 6, we have 3-4 men and Zenenplek on the inside. The Americans can ill afford to drop any more ground. They're looking to Moran here, and they weren't really still at the start. And it's Wigg, Simon Wigg who shows. Wigg shows in second place is Moran, going hard around the outside is both Peterson, and Peterson has got the drop on Moran. He's gone hard under Simon Wigg as well, and Wigg will not be happy there. He left the hole, and Peterson went through. And well, this was the man we thought might be the Danish weak link, and he has been their star. Came through from third to first. The Americans, Sean Moran is in third place. At the back it's Pleck. But the Danes are absolutely tearing them apart, and Wigg has drifted out, and Moran might just have the drop on him, no. And Wigg is leading holes down the inside and has the unwelcome attention of Sean Moran, and Moran, who can go inside or out, now try the outside run. Peterson's a mile in front, into the last lap. Well, Wigg's doing well to hold out Moran. He's lost and drops him back like 3-4 lengths. But Peterson is the man that you really have to take a cap on to. Wins it with the second place Wigg doing well, third place Moran.
Simon Wigg, a brilliant race start from the Danes, but good second place by...
There's to start again, Kenny. You can see it's Wiggy getting away now. We'll watch for both Peterson in blue.
He's in third place there, and now he's chopping back on Sean Moran, and then he's got some drive from somewhere. He drove on the inside of Simon Wigg into that turn. I think Simon perhaps left a little bit too much room and didn't know he was there. But then Simon chops back on the inside to stop Sean Moran from coming past also. And just a brilliant race from both Peterson there.
We'll have Preben Eriksson from Denmark, and on the outside we do have a change. It is the Polish reserve Boleslav Prok that comes in to replace Kasparak. There he is, number 17, Bodie Prok, well remembered in British Speedway with Reading and Leicester. Rides for the Kelowna Gora Club. And there is Lance King, who many felt, and it must be said I was one of them, was in with a chance of the World Individual title. Thoughtful, brilliant tactical rider. Didn't get it together at all in his opening ride. Heat 7 then with the Danes 6 points clear, and Chris Morton on the inside in yellow for England will be looking for a better start here to keep the Union Jack flying. And it's King who shows. King's in the first corner. Morton is second. In third place it is Eriksson going hard around the outside of Morton. Has he got the drop? Yes, he has on King. And this really is remarkable. Absolutely incredible. The Danes seem to have an extra gear. Morton and King locked together for second place, but Eriksson from Wolverhampton, again a rider who we thought might be a bit out of his depth at this lofty level, is tearing them apart. There is Eriksson. He's opened the lead of some 30-40 lengths on the second rider, Lance King. Morton trying hard. Prok is out of touch. Going into the last lap. And the Danes, it must be said again, are bringing home the bacon. There is no stopping them. Morton, bless his heart, is still trying to find a way past Lance King, but as we felt here at Leshno, it is difficult to come and find some drive to come from the back. Eriksson wins it. King hangs on by, what, 3/4 of a length for second place. Morton is third. Hans Nielsen from Denmark. Nielsen, the Danish number 1 on world rankings, hasn't won a race yet, but had an impressive second place first time out. The Danes have just seemed to be from a different planet, and the Americans have been eclipsed and are a long way behind them now. England have battled grittily, but it has been all Denmark, and the Poles, well, rather as we anticipated, they're just finding the pace a little hot. Here's Heat 8, there is Roman Jankowski, who is their fastest starter from Poland. And starting is all important here. Heat 8. Up to the corner, Jankowski it is, and Kelly Moran from the inside. And Nielsen is around the outside, and Nielsen, they're all four in a line. Who will break first? It is Nielsen with a magnificent first corner. Nielsen in front, second place Jankowski, third place is Kelly Moran, and Peter Collins was squeezed out in all the hair-raising activity on the first two corners. Nielsen somehow went round all three on the first corner. That really was tremendous cornering. News for England that PC, Peter Collins can't make any ground up. In second place, Moran. there's Nielsen moving right out to where the drive is. Kelly Moran second. Peter Collins, and that's an ominous sign, has made no ground at all. In fact, he's been dropped, if anything. Into the last lap. Hans Nielsen, who did not make the start, but just grabbed an enormous handful of throttle around the first two corners. He will win it. And again, Denmark stretching them. Nielsen wins it, and hanging on for second place, Kelly Moran. Third place is Jankowski. The bad tidings for England. Peter Collins left and dropped off and last. We're on the outside, Chris Morton for England. That is the lineup. Nielsen has ridden a couple of spectacular first corners. Poor old Chrissy Morton out here on the outside has been left a couple of times at the start. Only 1 point from him. They're all stood still and up to the corner. Nielsen's away and Morton's gone as well. Morton swings inside. Oh, what a terrific piece of tactics from Chris Morton. He switched direction. He is in front. Second place is Nielsen. Third, there is Rubber. And at the back it is Sean Moran. And we really have some fine speedway here. Morton in front. The packs close on him. Rubber's second. So too is Nielsen. And Nielsen squeezing through a gap, which is Harley there. Oh, and Morton is aware of his presence. And here comes Sean Moran. And we have a classic. Still Morton holding on. Nielsen around the outside where the drive is. He's round the outside. Has he got the wheels? Yes, he has. And again, magnificent piece of overtaking from the Danes. They are men inspired. Morton in second place. Sean Moran is third. Really tremendous heat 9. Nielsen right out of the dirt. Morton still in second place. Moran is third. And Rubber, who got in everybody's way from Poland, has tailed off. Nielsen it will be who consolidates for the Danes. Morton, brave terrier race, second place. Third place, Sean Moran takes the Danes further in front, but that really was a classic with the poles on the outside. And if anybody is going to hold on to these Danes, some inspiration has got to come now. Looking at the lineup on the inside, Peter Collins is should be in a yellow helmet colour. Next to him in blue is Preben Eriksson, who has been a real apple cart merchant. He's upset everybody with a win and a second place. Grid 3 has Bobby Schwartz, the American skipper, such a motivator and inspiration. They could do with some sparkle from him. And on the outside it's Denham Fleck from Poland. Here we go for heat number 10. Schwartz there, impatient to get on with the action, and he's away. So too is Eriksson. Eriksson and Schwartz together. And Eriksson will stand on those ceremony and coming hard through. It is Fleck, and Collins has been dropped. Eriksson again. The Danes are absolute dynamite. Eriksson in front, second place Fleck, third place it is Schwartz. And at the back, it is England's most experienced international performer, Peter Collins, as Schwartz tries to bore a hole down the inside of Fleck, and Fleck manages to move across and beat the bid. Well, we look at Eriksson in front and wonder what he's been eating for breakfast, because he really has no right to be tearing apart an international field of this quality, good rider though he is. And, well, Kenny, what about Peter Collins at the back? He's not making any impression, is he?
Well, I think, to be honest, they should have really put Neil Collins in for that race, like I said. But, I mean, they decided to let Pete have a go, and it's just proved it's a bad last place for England there. And, you know, it's really sort of in the story for England, I think.
Eriksson wins it, 3 more points for the Danes. Second place is Poland, and the crowd here are happy about that. Third, heat 11 coming up. The Danes still a long way clear on 28 points, and a battle developing now for second place between England on 13 and the Americans on 12. Poland back on 7, and they have been spoilers. Heat 11 on the inside will have Bo Peterson, who's reeled off a couple of pretty tremendous wins for the Danes, once from the back. In grid number 2 is Kelly Moran for the Americans, riding a bike machine borrowed from his younger brother Sean, who has not really shown as we rather expected him to. Kelly, unattached to a British League club this year. He's in white in grid 2. Grid 3 will have the Poles and Krasjak, and it's his first world final. On the outside, Phil Collins, who has battled bodily for England. He's in yellow and black in grid 4. Heat 11, can anything stop the Danes? We'll watch for Peterson from the inside, and look at the outside for Phil Collins. And Peterson was the one who touched the tapes. They are broken, and Kelly Moran went with him. Now, what's the referee going to decide? He is a Swede, the ref, Nils Ringstrom. Used to be a rider, actually. Rode at Long Eaton and at Glasgow. Well, the tapes were broken, as we can clearly see, and regulation should insist if they're broken, somebody is guilty. Well, it looks as though Kelly Moran has resigned himself to the fact he is excluded going back into the pits, and that really was a clear case of a rider being conned through.
Yes, Dave, it was actually Bo Peterson who pushed the tapes first, and then Kelly Moran went into the tapes, so did Phil Collins. Actually, Kelly Moran was the furthest rider through the tapes, and that's probably why they've excluded him. So it looks to me like they might put John Cook, the reserve, in now, the Americans.
Heat 11 coming up for the second time of asking. Kelly Moran excluded for tape breaking, and it increasingly looks as though the Americans are not going to replace him with their reserve John Cook. Just 3 starters only. That really is inexplicable. They are entitled to bring a reserve in, but the rules say no, and so we're in with 3 only. On the inside, Peterson, then Kasjak, and on the outside, Phil Collins. And away they go this time, and Collins and Peterson, it is to show. Collins trying the outside run on Peterson, and Collins being taken wider and wider and wider. That's a gap for Zenon Kasjak to come through, and Peter Collins seemed to be hunted there by Peterson. Still Peterson at front, Phil Collins, of course, it is in second place. We have 3 Collins boys in the team. I was a bit confused earlier on. But big, tall, lanky Bo Peterson has been unbeaten. He has 6 points so far, and unless he does something untoward, he's going to take Heat 11 as the Danes forge further and further ahead. More points then for Denmark, 2 for England, a point for the Poles in Heat 11. In a World Cup final, England will try to hang on in there for second place, and the Americans, of course, can still overtake them. There's the lineup for Heat 12. On the inside, Simon Wigg for England in yellow. Next to him in the grid 2 in blue, Erik Gundersen, unbeaten for Denmark. Grid 3 will have Lance King on 2 points for the Americans in white, and on the outside, Roman Jankowski, the Pole, who has 1 point from 2 starts. Heat 12. The domineering Danes have Gundersen, who has looked in little trouble at all in his opening 2 rides. Simon Wigg has been the most successful campaigner for the English with a win and a second. He is on the inside, so one imagines there'll be quite a charge up to the first corner from the 2 inside grids. There's Lance King, a disappointing day for him. We expected better than 2 points from 2 rides from this young Californian. They're settling down now for Heat 12. Oh, and Gundersen really is dicing there and gambling, and away they go. He still hits the start. Remarkable. Gundersen pushed the tapes, 3-4 times, has still got away clear. Second place is Wigg. Third place is Lance King. And King going hard under his cradly teammates. Wigg has held him off, or has he? Not quite. Gundersen away. Second place now King. Third place Wigg. At the back, Jankowski. Well, Kenny Carter, we saw again there, Gundersen really was doing the psychological bit at the tapes. Lucky to get away with it, really. Yeah, he's lucky there, Dave. They got away with it again at the start. I think really that's probably what the Danes have done. They've got away with it so many times, and it's paid off. They've got into the first turn first, and consequently they've won the races. Are you saying to us it's deliberate gamesmanship? Well, I think the Danes have tried it on to see if they can get away with it. They've got away with it, and it's just going to show they've made nearly every start tonight, so far. Well, Gundersen's a mile in front now, and King is in second place, so that brings the Americans back nearer the British, or rather the English. Of course, England have won this title 4 times as England and 12 times as finalists as Great Britain. Win for Gundersen, second place King, third place there as they went over the line. It was Wigg, the pole at the back, which doesn't exactly enamour him to a linchpin of this Danish squad, this brilliant Danish squad this afternoon. Grid 3 has Zenon Plek from Poland. On the outside, Lance King, who started with a last and has picked up his performance with 2 consecutive second places. Heat 13. The Danes on 34 points, England hanging on to second place with 16, the Americans breathing down their neck on 14, Poland, who have done better than many had felt, on 8 points. They haven't been outclassed at all as we come into heat 13. And inevitably, it's the Dane that's impatient. Now they're all still and away this time, and it's still Denmark to show. Nielsen in front, Collins in second. In third place, it is Pleck, and around the outside, it is now Lance King, squeezing into third place by half a length. Nielsen in front, Phil Collins is second. Lance King locked together with Zen and Pleck, and Pleck got back under King for third place. And it looks as though Pleck has given up, or rather his machine has. So nothing going Poland's way, but everything going in the direction of Denmark, with Nielsen leading here, heat number 13. The Danes have got this sensational record in World Finals, in World Cup Finals. It's their 6th final. They've won it 3 times, they've been second twice, and they won it again this afternoon by the length of a straight. Into the last lap, 338 metres around this Unio Leszno track, home of the Polish champions and one of the oldest established clubs in Poland. Beautifully prepared, perhaps a little bit too well prepared, as Nielsen wins heat 13. Second place is Phil Collins. Third, the disappointing from Poland, who has 2 points thus far. Grid 2 has Simon Wigg, England's perhaps most consistent performer, with a total of 6 points. Grid number 3 has Kelly Moran with 3 points and an exclusion. On the outside, Preben Eriksson, one of the revelations for the Danes, with a second and then 2 wins, both of them coming around from the back on the first 2 corners. They have been absolutely dynamite around the first 2 turns, the Danes. Heat 14, we'll watch for Eriksson coming from the outside. And away this time, and up to the first corner, it is Simon Wigg who leads it. Wigg is in front, and Eriksson got a nudge there from Moran, and getting shut out there in the bottom corner. It's still Wigg in front now. Here comes Eriksson. Eriksson around the outside of Kelly Moran, and Kelly Moran has not been able to hold him off. And Moran swings him out. That was a hair-raising corner as Eriksson tried to lead on it and paid the penalty. Asking no question at all. Wigg in front for England. Second place is Moran. Eriksson is back in third. It's the first time a Dane has been out of the opening 2 placings. And Wigg swinging very wide. And Kelly Moran almost squeezed under him. And Wigg really has got to keep in here. He's got Kelly Moran, who is not too happy about the safety exclusion earlier on. Into the last lap, still Simon Wigg. A race winner for England early on, and their most sparkling campaigner, which bodes well for the World Individual Final in a fortnight when he is the lone England finalist. Wigg is going to win it. Moran is in second place, and Eriksson is in third place, and the Danes will maybe construe that as a bit of a disaster. Day for him, only 5 points to win in 2/3. Second grid in red, we have Zenon Kasczak from Poland, then Collins, and on the outside, Erik Gundersen, looking for his maximum in a World Cup final. He's unbeaten in his first 3 rides in blue. And he's touched the tapes again. This time he's still and gets away, an absolute flyer. Into the corner, it is Gundersen. Moran is second. In third place, it is the England reserve, Neil Collins. And Collins is fighting. Collins might just get the drop on Moran here as they come down past our commentary position. It's Gundersen in front. Tremendous piece of cornering from Neil Collins, takes him up into second place. And down there in the red helmet has gone Zenon Kasczak. He's okay, the bike will be cleared as they make a bit of a move on. Fair old battle for second place too between Collins and Moran. There it is. Collins on the outside in yellow. Sean Moran on the inside in white. Gundersen a mile clear. And Neil Collins, it looks like he could hold off Sean Moran. Has another 338 metres to resist the attempt. And Kenny, this is a good ride from Neil Collins, but it's so late to bring him in, isn't it?
Well, I thought that actually they would have brought Neil Collins in a lot earlier to see how he went. And like he's proved, he's coming second in this race. And he's beat off the number 1 American Sean Moran. So perhaps, you know, if Neil had been put in earlier, we could have sort of scored more points. But at least I think that's going to ensure England are coming second in the meeting.
That's right. Gundersen winning it. Neil Collins with a really gutsy performance. Holds second place. Sean Moran in third place for the Americans.
And so the Danes jubilant. Some consolation for England in second place. Who can deny this Danish side, who finished up with a record equaling 44 points? The second year running, Denmark find themselves on the winners' rostrum. Denmark 44, England 24, the USA 20, and Poland 8. And the Danes very much the new leaders.